got our first 100 subs, baby. It's a celebration. Today is Friday. Let's go. Had an overnight trade that I fell asleep on right here. I wanted to enter right on this bounce. Let's see, I had my limits set up. I want to see what it was going to do, so I probably would have entered on this pullback. I watched it bounce, rejected here. Had my parameters set. And woke up. And nope. 345 it wouldn't hit. 715, 718. We have this big crazy price action right here. I don't know what was happening. I was actually in the car at 724. I looked at the charts and we had this big candle here. So I don't know what happened, but had I not missed my trade last night, my entry, I woke up with literally at like, I think I woke up at 4 something in the morning. So at 4 something in the morning, we were already around here somewhere. As a matter of fact, I think when I looked at it, I think we already made this, so I missed that trade. But as you can see, if I would have set it and forget it, went to sleep, sometime at 7:21, between 7:21 and 7:20, and 7:24 this morning, or 7:24 and 7:27 this morning, it would have hit my take profit. So I would have made $1,000. That would have been a nice trade. That was my trade idea for tonight. That for last night. So now we just see if we can go either trade it yesterday's high or back down to this level here. So we'll see. It's Friday. We could potentially range and set up for something Monday or Sunday night. So we'll see. But this is a nice level here. It's 50% level. Yep. Bounced right off of that this morning with that crazy news. We closed, bounced above it, closed, and then we opened flush below it and pop back up. But BRB. Let me see. Together. Knock my pillow down. Hey, hey. Oh, man. Looks like that trade would have played out again. How about that big candle, guys? What's going on? Good morning. How about this big... Sorry, I'm, like, still doing stuff. Getting stuff together. How about this big candle at 7:24 this morning? Where did that come from? Anybody see that live? That was wild. Good morning, everybody. It's all two of my people. I had a trade last night that I was gonna take. After this bounce right here. But I fell asleep. This was my limit set, and it would have worked. I would have made 1,000 overnight, but then again, obviously now if I would have, I was in Giant Eagle though. Actually, I was in Giant Eagle after that. I was on the road. I was in Giant Eagle around this right here. Looking to see what we were doing. My banana is not. We got our first 100 subs, baby. Let's go. That's exciting. Big old round number from 0 to 100. I switched it up a little bit. Yesterday I was trading 5 micros to risking 250. I opened it up a little bit to 350. I could actually open it up a little more, but I'm trying to keep it as tight as possible. So just trying to find my sweet spot and what works. Obviously for one micro, you know, $100 is more than enough. That's 50 points. That's a huge stop. Yeah, let's get grooving here. Let's see. What was I saying? Oh, the stop loss and stuff. Yeah, so 146, risking 146 to make 400. So that's risking 350 to make 1,000. 146 is 35 points. Right? 120 is 30 points. Is that right? 140 to, yeah, 35 points. Yeah, 120 and then another 5 is 20. I mean, 120. Yeah, it's 30. And another 5, 6 is 20. Another 5 points is 22, so yeah. 35. So I don't have any more, my last trade idea is just, looks like I might have missed my entry, was to either target this high or the low of this extreme low, this low right here. And that is from This swing low to this swing high point. Kind of forgot about this method. It came to me the other day when I hit that trade overnight. What I used to get there. And I went back to what I first learned during my like second year of trading. Well, first and second year of trading, when I was trading forex, I was learning to trade crypto and forex on the charts, and I learned about Fibonacci's, fib retracements and stuff. And so, with these big moves you've been getting on the 1 hourly, I mean, you can use it anyway. I kind of incorporated that back, and I think I'm gonna start using that to find my trades, so that way I'm forced to sit on my hands a little more, because scalping is okay, but I'd rather go for the bigger moves. Not like so big, but you know, just be a little more defined. Obviously you can come in here and you can scalp these ups and downs, no problem, but it gets tiring over a while. You know what I mean? Oh, where's my other? I need my daily up. I need my daily chart up. So let's pull. Let's pull up the daily. Baby, beer. Already had it pulled up. Silly girl. Put this over here. Alright, let's get our daily. Let's get our daily chart. Here we go. Looks like I did not. I didn't change my levels yesterday. Oh, okay. Looks like we want to go take out wick this way. Hello? 1 second, guys. Let me take this call. Hello? I accidentally placed that trade. I did not mean to. Whoopsie. Down 20 cents. That was wild. I'm just trying to look. I was just trying to set my parameter. And I accidentally take this. I don't know if I'm gonna list 350 on it. It looks like on this hourly, we might be. We got a wick on both sides of this hourly candle. Let me see what that looks like. Let me see. This and this. Let's just watch it for a minute. Gotta be careful. I'm kind of eager, little eager to get in because I missed my trade last night, and I kind of feel like we're going to take that out, but I don't want it to flush too crazy. That was obviously probably a news-driven candle. I don't know what. Let me see if I can. What time is that? 7. 8:30. Well, 8:30. Canada's unemployment rate came, but that was at 7. Look at it go. Look at it go. All right, let me what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take this I'll make a long position and a short position really quick to see what it looks like so I can take these parameters. What's going on? I'm pretty sure I just entered into a trade, but I don't see it. What's happening? What the fuck is the trade? It's not showing on my phone either. It just said, oh, it had a risk of $6. What is going on? Is that a trade or no? I just keep doing stuff. Okay, negative $10 is not moving. I don't know what. Push enter on accident. I'm trying to push 350 because I accidentally had 650 in there, and then I pushed. I was trying to erase it and then push 350, and I guess I pushed enter when it had 6, so it must have put me in a trade and took me out at $6. My goodness. I'm about to close that. How do I disable that? I don't know about today. I did that twice. That's nutty. I'm trying to get set this real quick so I can get this off the screen. If I don't accidentally enter in a trade, and I keep accidentally entering. I can get this thing in stuff still. 1 second. doing that. I'm just trying to figure out why is it like I'm literally highlighting a tool and dragging that and not the first of all, we got our first 100 subs, baby. Let's go. Alright, there it is. Take that off. Just want to see where a good entry level would be. We want something that gives us safety beyond this, just in case it. Disconnected. I don't know what having internet issues, guys. I got me some seeded watermelon this morning at the store. They had a big old cart, and I probably was the first one to grab one. I was like, "Oh, let's go!" I should have grabbed two. I got a nice big one too. Got to knocking on that thing, making sure. I think I got me a good one. We'll see. Who I got in here with me? You gonna say good morning? Good morning. I'm excited about my 100 subscribers. Oh, I gotta call it. I gotta call my Wi-Fi. They blocked my my IP address was blocked. Oh, from my from signing in to Disney Plus. Like, oh, what's going on? I was definitely trying to watch Pirates of the Caribbean. Don't judge me. Let's see. If we take that wick out, we got some heavy sellers up there. Oh yeah, I definitely had a good day yesterday. I ended the stream down 400, but I ended the day up 1100. I did get into some trouble here. Once I realized what it was doing, I recovered some of that 400 and I was up like 500 and something. Initially I was up 600 before that, if you guys remember. And I cannot remember. I did not take it. Did I take it? I think I did take advantage of. I did take advantage of part of this move somewhere. Somewhere in this move after I ended the stream. And then I was thinking we would get continuation here. And I think after we broke that high, I went long. Something. I had to do something like that because I had 2 bad trades and it put me down. And then I just had this long bias, and then I remember going short here. It paid me, but I let it come back and book the profits. So actually took a little loss. And what else did I do? Because I ended up down again. Can't remember. I think I might have seen this, and I think I did. I think I seen this and was like, this little I think I see this little pattern here, right? That little sideways action. And was thinking that because I was thinking we would have another leg lower. Like, you know, we were accumulating sellers there just like we accumulated sellers there. That's what I was thinking. You know, how we had this leg lower, then we accumulated some sellers. They broke out, break out, fake out, and then another leg lower. I was thinking that would happen here. We dropped lower, accumulated sellers. I was thinking we would drop a little lower, maybe take out this low. Yep, I got in that 5 contracts, and I think I even put on 10 because I thought it was a big loss, because I thought that we were gonna break this channel, because what I started noticing is that by the time we got there, I was like, oh, look at what we're doing, right? We had kind of this rising wedge, which is typically bearish, and as you can see, we rose, but we couldn't really get higher, so price fell here. And then if you notice here, I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. This is gonna break, right? I was like, oh, this is gonna break. My overall, I don't know why that's why I just need to be patient. I was scalping, but my overall bias was bearish because of this big run up that we had. And last week we did the same thing, and the same thing happened. I actually blew an account that day before I can take advantage of that last trade, trying to scalp up here in the top, just like I did yesterday. And that's what I realized too. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna put myself in too bad of a position, right? Because I want to catch this. Typically, after a big move up like this, which the hourly candle looks like this big old hourly candle right here, and so that created an opportunity for us to come back and fill prices because we had a gap there, an empty pocket. You know, those candles I say that are open for business. So that formed on the hourly. And so I was waiting, and I said, okay, they in this channel. I see what they're doing. So when I took that loss there, it started to go short, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna wait just in case we bounce. But as soon as we broke it and we popped in back into that channel with this white doji here, this little small candle. As soon as we what is that? As soon as we broke it, I'm like, it had my attention. I think I even took a small scalp there, actually, as a break, and then it bounced and I got out. But as soon as we popped in there and we started to come back down, I put on 5, and then in this candle right here, I put on 5 more. And so at that time, I was probably down like $1,000 or something. It was bad, but I was like, I'm gonna catch this move. I'm gonna get out of this. And so I actually flipped down a 2-minute chart when I was holding it, and right here on this bounce, I had on 10 here, so 1 mini. I think it gave me like 700 or $800. It gave me something like that. Actually, I remember days running together. Yeah, because I think when I took this trade, I was down. By the time I took this trade here, when I put on 5 and then I put on 10, I was only down like $4.99. So I think this trade gave me like 700 or 800 or something like that. Because after that trade, I was up 300 and something, and I said, okay, 300 to get me back to where, if this continues, 300 to get me back to where I was earlier in the day when I was flush to uh my purple box I had, which was, wait a minute, let me put it back on. Give me 1 second. I erased it because we completed that move. So the bottom line of the purple box I had, it was basically to fill that gap. And so this is where that purple line was. Somewhere like that. And so, yeah, and so I was up about $300, and once we bounced here, and we got this third candle here, this white one right here, where we failed to go higher. We failed to show any sort of continuation on the 1 second, any sort of continuation. When this candle opened and it started to flush, I put on 5. Actually, yeah, I put on 5, and I put on 5 more, like, immediately. Flushed down. I didn't hold it until it got here. I just got out of it, and then I ended the day up $1,100. So that's how that went. Stuck with the trade idea. It worked. And now last night I had a trade idea. Fell asleep before I can get it on. Literally had the brackets and stuff sitting there when I woke up at like 4 in the morning. I was like, man. Man. Right? I forgot. I forgot. I fell asleep. What is this? Yeah, Disney tripping. Maybe. So yeah, yesterday was overall a good day. But like I said, it was failing to go higher, and Trump was speaking at first. Where was it? Here. Right here, I believe. So I was on the wrong side. I was entering into my trades wrong. I had the right bias. I knew it was going lower because I had another purple box there. It actually hit my target. It went through the target. Where was the candle? Where was it? So this candle here, I entered into this candle, this green candle. I entered into that candle at the bottom of the candle to go short. I was risking 350, and so this candle stopped me out. I did the same thing here. I entered into a trade, just entering at the bottom of the pullbacks instead of the top, stopped me out. And so that didn't start off too well, and then I got in like somewhere here, and it started bouncing, and I'm like, actually, this stopped me out too. And I'm like, man, I can't get on the right side. It was doing this. It started to pull back. I actually, at some point, I got on the right side within one of these candles. And then it started to go up. And I'm like, why is it? Or something like that happened. There was another trade I cut. I was like, nope, I think it might have been this one. I was like, nope, it's going up. But another one I was in, and I'm like, why is it just running up like that? And somebody I was listening to said Trump was speaking, and I was like, man, what is this guy saying now? Every time you get into a trade, gotta be careful these days, you know. And so I believe that one stopped me out. I forget how it was, but it stopped me out, and I actually went short again because I still believe that it was going lower, and I actually won that trade. Actually, I think that might have been a trade. That was a trade I took after stream that got me back the money that I was down. So I opened the stream up 600, closed the stream around 10:30 or so, like down 400 and something, and then a couple minutes later, like literally after I ended it, got that money back. remember. I think I took some scalps in here or something. But yeah. But after that big move up, we gotta cool off, right? We gotta go repair price. It's definitely gonna sell off. That's what I was thinking. And if not, at the end of the day, yesterday, if they held it up, maybe we would continue. But at some time in the future, whether it was today, yesterday, opening at 6 p.m. or Monday, we were definitely going to come fill that empty pocket. My mom just called. Let's see. Nice. I had one with white on. Yeah. But no. I had one with white on it. Didn't think nothing about it. Watched it. Kind of small people. I had an actress. Really? I hope mine is good. My mom called me and now she ain't answering. She probably was at. She probably. What? Oh. She probably was calling to see if I get her a watermelon. I already left the store. Just in case she don't get off, get out of her classes. She ain't done with her class until late, because them watermelons are gonna be gone. But I told her early enough. I told her before. And she be grabbing them from Parma, so I wasn't sure. Look at that. Look at that pool of that. Needless to say, those big imbalances like that, even on these 3-minute charts, the larger they are, the better. They create trade opportunity. I can't believe I forgot all about it. I was still learning how to use it though, and I was like, I didn't know as much as I knew now. Then I'm like, oh, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, and I thought it was supposed to work all the time. I wasn't understanding some things. I think I was flipping around time frames, trying to figure it out. But now I think I know a little better, where it's like, find it on a specific time frame and trade according to that, instead of trying to jump around. I hope mine don't taste like. I sure hope it's good. I ain't had a seeded watermelon, well, all year. I think I had some last year, but pulling back here just a little bit. Looks like the moving averages are trying to. They're curling. I don't know if they're gonna cross. The MACD is bearish because the sellers are in short term, of course. This is a 3-minute chart, so just, you know, within these 3-minute candles, we see some sellers coming in. So when the MACD is bearish, that's a bear cycle. You don't want to trade against that. Meaning you don't want to go long when the MACD is red. You don't want to go short when the MACD is green. So you don't want to buy when it's red, and you don't want to sell when it's green. Like here, this big green candle, and then you got price continued up to these highs. If you put the line on that big green candle and look down, you can see where my cursor is at on the bottom there, where that green histogram is at. The MACD just turned from sellers to buyers. That's how you use that. 9:29. Oh, the market is about to open in 1 minute, 36 seconds. We have a daily level. Is that what? Is that what mine? That is. Hmm. How far are we from that? Oh, that's way high. Not really. About 300 points higher for this pink box. Markets are open. Ding, ding, ding. I need to get the bell. Alright, let's see what game plan is. Let's see. See, I moved that. I moved this, and we came right to that level that I said would be safe to enter long. But since it was so close to open, we don't know what they're gonna do. It's alright. Just give it a second here. Nice Friday rally would be nice, huh? A nice Friday rally where we just trend higher all day. Where we do that crazy stuff in the morning where we just kind of go nowhere and then it breaks out slowly but surely around 11 and then just drifts higher for the rest of the day. That would be nice. That really is bullish. Give it a second, guys. Nothing is running away. Relax. That's really me talking to myself too. Could have been an entry level. This would be even better one. Build support. Oh, we already built support. So if we build it here, so daily level, ain't it? Sure is. That's a daily support and resistance level. That orange, that thick orange line right there, where price shows some rejection around and support at. Everybody's trying to break out. They did break out. Nice, nice. Probably go take out that wick up there. What time is it? 9:35. What time is it over there? Hold on, this thing move. I want to take out that wick. Alright, it's no longer moving. Let it run up. I don't know how to reset this to get it fixed. I didn't do anything. Oh, what is this thing doing? One of those days, huh? I'm scared to enter into a trade. It's coming up here to take out this wick. I guess we already took this one out, but we created a wick while doing so. Got some resistance here. This is last week's high. What's this week? What's this week's high? Like, why did I do that? One of those? What's this week? We already passed. What do I have on here, y'all? Oh, this week's high. Low. See if we gonna make it. So we did make new highs. For the week. Yesterday, I believe. Did we yesterday? We did. Yesterday we made new highs for the week. Right here we broke those highs. Guess I should move that line. Yesterday's close. Yesterday's high is now the highs of the week. Pulling back very nicely. See that? I gotta get these out the chart. I can't. Major rejection up there. Price was, look at that. It was heavily rejected at 2279.27. I mean 0.25. So it's Friday. Today is Friday. Usually, what does that mean? Conditions might be sorry. I accidentally placed 2 trades. Pushing the enter button on accident. And it got me down $10.40. Imagine that. If something didn't set up, I was actually going to be happy saying I didn't take a trade. I was patient. U.S. issues serious travel warning on May 7th. What? Good morning, Court. What's going on? Oh, Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ steep higher as Trump floats cut to China tariffs. That's why they were saying basically the damage is already done. Whatever, I'm not a politician. All right, looks like sellers are in temporarily. What happened yesterday? We sold off and then ran up, right? Yeah, they sold off on up. Sold off, rallied, accumulated, distribution, whatever. They distributed and they sold. Kind of sideways. We're sideways overnight. Well, we rose higher. Overnight, we had small sell-off, but prices higher overall. So what are we up 0.37 in fluctuating percent for today? It's Friday. Sellers pushing it down into that range. %. Let me see. Okay, bears are here. Matter of fact, I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade 5 contracts today because I don't know if I see a setup. But if not, if it's just a quick scalp, I'm definitely gonna put one on, or just not trade at all. The eval, I need about 1,800 to pass it, so if I can just find those good trades, right, where I'm profiting, where I'm targeting $1,000, then 2 more trades and I'll be there. But if I'm scalping, then it takes many more trades, right? But there's nothing wrong with putting small gains in the account if it's possible. But then what is the risk? Height risk. It's my time. Good morning. It's Friday. Markets are usually muted on Fridays unless we get those good rallies. Hey guys, I got 100 subscribers. I don't know if you were here earlier when I said it. That's exciting. Yay. Woo. Put some thingy things in the chat. Let me see. I'm gonna put some oh, that's what I should have pinned. Let's pin that. I'm excited, y'all. I can't wait to get there. I was like, oh look. Stock market needs to pull back. Like Bitcoin's pulling back. Let's look at it. Market's not doing nothing anyway, huh? Actually, I used to have I cleared that up. I used to have a crypto watch list and everything. So I had a new watch list. Crazy crypto. Oops, I'm not pushing. Sit down. Oh, they do got Bitcoin futures. I forgot. Let's look at that. I can actually trade. Oh yeah, Court, you can trade Bitcoin on future. Don't let me accidentally not. This ain't the right. Why does it look like that? Why is the volume like that? It said it has the. Let me see. Which one is it on here? You follow. I mean, which one? Binance, Coinbase. Let's try. That's probably because it's the future, then it doesn't really have a lot of volume or whatever. Yeah, the volume on that looks better. Man, Bitcoin is at 103,000. That's wild. I remember, what was that, 2016, 2017, playing around with it. A lot of people, it's just like, man, if I would have just, I didn't own one whole one though, because let me see what it was at that time. Let's say 2016. It was a 2016. Are you trading it? It's too much, Bitcoin. June, it was 7.7. It was June 1st, 2016. It was $777.99. I was just playing around though with it, learning how to, because it was so somewhat popular. You would when I was learning, it was like top 10 cryptos, and you type up top 10 cryptos so that the volume would be there, and or just trying to follow where the volume is and what's popular. Doge came around in 2020, but yeah, man, I wasn't even trading at that point either. I was playing around with the apps. Like I said, I think it was around Acorn. I tried Acorn, I tried Robinhood, and I stuck with Robinhood for whatever reason. But I think Robinhood was after Acorn. And then there was some other apps. I don't know. I was kind of sketchy at first. That when, I was in school at the time, and somebody had got me hip to the app, and I was like, "Is this real? Like, you put real money?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I'm seeing the charts on there. I can't even remember what the name of the app was, but I remember him telling me if you do this and do that, then you make money. And honestly, now that I think about it, I think it was like prop firms. Maybe it might have been like the beginning of Forex prop firms or crypto. I don't know if there's crypto ones, but maybe Forex. But yeah, I forgot all about that. His name was Rob, man. Shout out to Rob. Rob, if you ever see this, we worked at radio together. Shout out to you. Look at me now. Still stuck with it because we was talking about it. He knew I wanted to learn how to trade. I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. I don't know how, but I'm gonna figure it out. But I was skeptical about putting my own money in. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm building up longs and shorts. Nice. Yeah, what? Bitcoin was complicated then? Put those thumbs up and keep doing this 5-minute recap. The algorithm. Yeah, I know. If I get off late, I'm just tired, and I'm like, ugh. Sometimes I do. I need no excuses. I need to just like I did my shoe business. Late nights, early mornings. I'll still do the recaps, and then also I need to pull content from like my lives when I'm explaining. I gotta just go through and find it, and that's gonna be a little task because they're hours long. But I'll put it on like 5 times speed, or the highest speed that I can put it on, and then let it play, and then find something and clip it like that for shorts, because shorts will reach people too. This thing is too high. Look at the Nasdaq. Oh, look at the Nasdaq selling, and I'm not even on Nasdaq. Yeah, crypto is nuts. But yeah, I sure did, man. Sure did. But at that time, I just had a laptop. I didn't have my computer or the iPad. I don't even think apps were a thing like that on the computers at that time. Like these apps, like now you got Robinhood, Webull, what's the other one? Moo or whatever. And you can trade Bitcoin on like Cash App and stuff. Now they got all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. That was a nice flush. Oh, so they bearish? I don't know what they're doing. Once we get let's put, yeah, you're saying it was complicated, like trading back then, because it was. Robinhood has charts now, like where they slowly show, like, okay, now you can see the candlesticks, and then they added like a moving average, RSI, just a couple indicators, and now they have, I think, a whole like platform thing where you can actually log in and trade and plot on the charts. But obviously a lot of people have that. Yahoo has it as well. You can go to Yahoo Finance and you can open up the charts that way and plot. Sure can. One thing about me though, like my uncle always say, I believe in divine timing. Like you can't rush any process. Everything is all on God's time, and I don't care what it is. Just said that because I'm thinking like, man, that was 2016. It's 2026 is 20 years later, but you know things had to unfold the way they did. Look at the price bouncing. I had Doge right. Same mistake again. XRP. You got XRP? Yeah. Yeah, I had Doge too. I was playing around with it. I probably came to it late. My friend told me about it. About Elon Musk joining Saturday Night Live. That's how I kind of track my journey too a little bit. Like when it really ramped up, I was living here and I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, thank you for bringing me back to it. And that's when I start getting into it again, like really, really into it. And jumped on the Doge, and then that led me to the Forex. Then I started doing the Forex overnight because I couldn't do it in the daytime because I was working, I was going to school. So the little time I had at night, I would try to, you know, find moves or whatever, studying the charts. And I seen some sketchy stuff, and I'm like, I love Forex, but I don't, you know, gotta going through learning the right broker and this and that. People seem like they was gatekeeping with that anyway. So I was like, man, let me go to something a little more regulated. Even though I guess some brokers, Forex brokers are regulated. And that's what I wanted. I thought I had a regulated one, but like I said, I seen something sketchy on them Owanda charts. Then I found a video on YouTube where the guy had two charts up, Owanda and I forget the other one. And the move, like this big candle, wick up and down, like just took people's money both ways, was on Owanda, but on the other chart it wasn't there. And I was like, see, I knew something was crazy about that. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, yeah. I stopped using them. I only gave him like 300 twice, or like 500 altogether or something like that. Just trying it out. Actually made money. Didn't like ask for it, request it or whatever, because I was still trying to learn. Just trying to keep it in there, like, yeah, this is what, you know, I'm gonna learn this, and then when I build it, I'll take it out. Yep, didn't get the chance, so left that, and then I started trading penny stocks, which are stocks under $5. For anybody wondering, penny stocks are not actually 1 penny. Those kind of stocks are called, I believe those are OTC, over the counter stocks, where they haven't really IPO yet, so they're not as stable. You can put a whole bunch of money in them and get rich, or you can put a whole bunch of money in them and your money disappears overnight. More risky. But yep, so I was trading penny stocks that were actually on the New York Stock Exchange, or the CME, whatever. It was Robinhood. I was trading them on Robinhood, using Trading View to chart. Sure did. Then I moved to options. And I made $6 grand in 2 hours, and I've been hooked ever since. And I was like, no. If I can do that, I can do it again. When I start losing and I start realizing, oh, there's more to it. And there's more to it than just being on the charts. It's psychological and a lot of things. I was like, oh yeah, I'm willing to figure this out. It's gonna buy my freedom. And so here I am. Yep. Let's look at our XRP real quick. I'm gonna pull up my I forgot I got I don't want to open my crypto.com. Got a crypto.com wallet, but now it's so complicated. I'm gonna open it on Coinbase and see. I like Webull too, by the way. But once I found out that on the apps, when you buy the crypto, it's basically like an IOU. You don't actually own it, like on Coinbase. I'm not sure on Webull. That's when I kind of was like, okay, I'll wait until I get to where I want to be to go. Because like crypto.com, you know, you have to have a secure wallet and stuff. So you actually own that asset. But other than that, I think like crypto.com is basically like going to the bank or something and holding your money. It's like a IOU, but you don't have the actual um the actual coin, you know what I mean? But you can like trade like your ownership of it in cash unless that's changed. I got some Cardano staked. I want to stake some more. Sandbox ain't doing nothing. I gotta get back and I was just letting this stuff sit. I'm gonna get back and do some homework on the weekend. I got AMP. I had Stellar Lumens too, but yeah, I need to get back on here and see what everybody is doing. Cause there are some promising projects on there. Look at my ADA, my Cardano. I wonder if I can stake more. Let me see. Can I stake more? Oh yeah, I can stake some. I can stake some more. You got Cardano? What you think about ADA? I know this ain't. Alright, we're bouncing here. We've been bouncing, but. You got yeah, you staking ADA? Let's go. I forgot the name now, but it's Charles Schwab with the penny stocks. You said you had. What you mean? You forgot the name of what? Why you just keep signing me out? Yeah, Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab bought TD Ameritrade, right? Or Thinkorswim? Because I was trying to learn that platform. That's the one I really wanted to learn to. Like, I was using Robinhood because I was a beginner, but I wanted to use Thinkorswim to trade options and stuff. But man, that is so involved. That's why I'm like, you know what? If I could just do it, I ain't got to get that involved. Make the same amount of money on here, but pros and cons with everything. But yeah, I'm like, man, what is all these different terminologies and stuff? That's the notes that I was taking though. When I started writing all that stuff down, I was writing about commodities and options and times things traded. I had no idea what I was doing. Please get XRP. Yeah, XRP is definitely the move. It'll probably take a minute to take off, but I think when it does, it's just gonna. What's Ethereum doing? Ethereum was my baby for a minute. I was trading that for a minute. Let me see. If it does take off, once they had that like lawsuit thing come out or whatever, that's when it kind of fell off. But usually, companies, if they will recover, they recover pretty well. Bullish at the bottom, short at the top, huh? Whoa. It's my internet. I just. It didn't try. Oh, next, not XRP, but XPR. Oh, get XPR, not XRP, XPR. Come on, people. Okay, heard. Let me see. The Charles Schwab. I think they bought. Yep. Thinkorswim. Charles Schwab bought Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim used to be at TD Ameritrade. Okay, let me look up what you They still haven't taken out this wick here. I'll put a little blue line, purple line. Let's do the purple line. No, we're gonna do the light blue because that's what we always do. This light blue dotted line. I haven't taken out that. We can make it solid. We can make it solid. No, we can make it dotted. Change and stuff. Look at that. Short back from the top. Just pulling it back here. Small cycles. This is a 3 minute I'm looking at. This is a 1 minute. It's Friday, baby. We definitely ain't gonna do what we did 2 Fridays ago. XPR. XPR network. Market cap 107 million. Also, they're smaller. It's not tradable on Coinbase. What you oh, it's on. Is it on Webull or are you on Binance? What are you on to trade it? Launched in San Francisco. XPR is a new public blockchain and smart contract platform designed for both consumer applications and peer-to-peer payments. It's built around a secure identity and financial settlements layer that allows users to directly link real identity in fiat accounts, pull funds, and buy crypto and use that crypto seamlessly in apps. Okay. 2.7 million is the volume. The market cap is 106.6 million, up 2.58%. The volume is up 27.85%. Circulated supply is 27.5 billion. That's a lot. The all-time high is 10 cents. April 2020. Didn't it just say it was at 40? What? Oh. It's at, it's at 0.0039. So it went to 10 cents. It's up 242. Look at this. Bulls are showing they're still here. It's up 242.6% in the past year. It's down 96% though from its all-time high. Speaking of what I was reading, the blockchain and stuff, you know what's interesting? Ooh, fun fact. Here's a fun fact. The definition of blockchain, because you know how everything we build outside of ourselves comes from within, right? If that makes sense. Blockchain, the definition for blockchain, the literal definition for how it's run, what it does, its function, is the same for the DNA of the human body. Ain't that crazy? There's a fun fact. There's a fun fact. Let me see. Sure is. I was like, wow. Because you know our DNA in our cells, they contain millions and millions of fractal antennae. And so these people know, like, what's a fractal antenna? Well, antenna is something that receives information from somewhere else. Right? So who are we receiving the information from? We all have a Wi-Fi signal. Yeah, that ain't that deep though. And that's why, you know, getting off topic of trading, I find that interesting because people say, I had a download. You know how to get downloads from the Most High. You can get downloads from something that's not of the Most High as well. But just like science, it doesn't matter how deep you dig. It still goes back to, like, there's a guy. If you ask me, who are we receiving this information from? And like you said with the Wi-Fi, I mean, where are we pulling this from? And how is it in the ether? Like, I don't know, but I think that's interesting. Yep, the fractal antennas. And if you think about it like that, it's like, well, you can see how a lot of people are not connected to God, whether you believe in it or not, or him or not, or whatever you want to identify it as, him as, or, you know, I'm not going to get into people's beliefs, but it's just interesting how if you're trying to get a signal on a radio and you have a bad connection, there's chatter or something, you can't really hear that song. You know what I'm saying? Or if you on a, like back in the day, if you was on the phone and there's a bad connection, get a little staticky. You know what I mean? I feel like it's the same way with our antennas, like our fractal antennas, how we're basically connected to something else. But with all these distractions like the TV and the music, and nowadays we got all these different apps, you know, it's almost like our intent, like our connection is blocking. Like a lot of people are not able to receive the message, like, you know what I'm saying, the message may be distorted or whatever. And when you think about it, if you've ever fasted, when you fast, you seem like you do get closer to the Most High, to your higher self, you know what I'm saying? And so I just think, I don't know, I think that's interesting. And I think that people need to stop denying who we really are. But whatever, you got the right to do what you want. Everything comes with a consequence. But yeah, the deeper, I'm telling you, the deeper you dig in science, which means knowing, like it's literally the same. I gotta go find it. It's the same definition. Like that's how they run. That's how they understood how to develop blockchain. You know what I mean? And like it's crypted, it's end-to-end encrypted. So same way, if I'm receiving a message from the Most High, you can't get the message that I'm receiving from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That message is for me. It's cryptic. It's between me, like, you know what I'm saying? It's deep. It's deep. They did a experiment with the neurons, which, you know, previously was believed that humans control the neurons and that you need a human body for these neurons to function. But they were able to isolate neurons from a human body, from a person that never played this video game called Pong back in the day, which was that tennis-like game where the ball just bounces from screen to screen, from in the screen, from edges of the screen. And they were able to hook up the neurons, right? Because our cells have circuits on them, input and output circuits. Like, it's crazy when you think people don't pay attention to this type of stuff because it's not in the mainstream. It's in like engineering magazines and scientific magazines, and you really gotta go digging for this stuff. But our cells, they have circuits on them, right? Obviously, I mean, we all know we're some form of conductors of electricity, right? When you go to the hospital, they put you on the EKG or that's all electricity, you know. But they connected the neurons to the game, and the game started playing. I mean, the neurons started learning this game and playing it, and they were like baffled because they were like, how is it doing it without the human function? And so now that lets you know there's something else going on, you know what I mean? And the way they were describing it is that this vast I don't know what you want to call it, it's like the universe, whatever you want to call it, of it's intellect, in which I believe, like I said, what I understand it to be, but it's intellect. And like some people call it the Akashic records or whatever, but everything that's ever happened exists in this field of intelligence. And that those neurons that came from a person that never played the game before was able to tap into that, right? Because the antenna was able to tap into that field and learn the game and play it, and it actually got better over time, like as it played it. And I'm like, wow. But that goes to show you, like, man, we're just like spirits literally having this experience in this physical body, right? In this temple. Beautiful. That's my science field for today. It links back to Christ and when he said we live in the matrix in the Bible. Give me that. But caution how you play in the lure of simulation. Right. Well, what scripture is that? Nah, drop that. Christ is Lord for me, at least for me. Yes. Drop that scripture, please. I know you said it sounds like you need to start another YouTube channel. I've been trying to. This is my first time. I had to get this out because I'm shy, and I am on camera. It's probably a little different because I'm live, but when I'm trying to record, I start stumbling over my words and stuff, and I lose my train of thought. I tried it. That's why I started the Patreon, but I do want to. I have the podcast stuff upstairs. I'm building it up, and I have the couch. So I just have to. I need another camera, one, because I only have my phone, but that's perfect. But yeah, I want to talk about different stuff, especially the science stuff that people are like not paying attention to. Like a lot of these scientists, they won't go mainstream with it, but I was in the space, so you can find some though that do webinars on YouTube, and they're probably like almost retired, or like my biology teacher was one. And there are people in that space that do not separate God from science and put God above science, and understand that what we do with science is not, they're trying to disprove God, but the deeper you go, it only proves that God exists more. You know what I'm saying? Because how is this possible? That's man, but yeah, there are people like that, and I don't know, even like the neuron thing, a lot of people don't pay attention to that, or just the blockchain, a lot of things. But I do want another channel. Got a lot in this little head of mine. I would love that script. I'm gonna look it up right now. We're not doing anything. We're just going sideways. And that's why, yeah, it's dangerous what they're trying to do with this AI, right? Man trying to play God and create a son in his image, right? Like a son of man, not Christ, not that son of man, but like, because if you think about it, it's like, why? But us being God's creation, I mean, I guess we can't. We are creators. I mean, God was the ultimate creator, right? And I mean, Christ told us we was like him. We can do what he did and more. I would believe, him being the son, us being like him, we can also create, which we do, but some is on the left side. Southern off here. Just hovering around this level, if you notice, this orange line, this is a major support and resistance on the daily here. This is what it looks like. And look, that's where we're sitting at. See this? All this support here, resistance here. And that was back in, all the way back to 2024. So we pulled out of that magnetic zone we've been in and just kind of sitting in the other zone. But yeah, I definitely think the movie Matrix has some similarities, like, there's some messages in there about the Bible. And I didn't know a black woman actually wrote that. After that, I was like, it makes sense. Not saying nobody else could do it, but it makes sense, who we are. And that information definitely came from on high. There's no way. Caution how you play in Lord simulation. I like that, because I'm telling you, that's what I think. That's what I think too. Like, this is his creation. What do y'all? I gotta find that. Hold on. That link. I bet you Google will help me get to it. Southern off here. No trades. Well, besides those 2 accidental trades. Let me see. I want to take I don't want to just take a trade just to take them, right? But let me just put this on to get out of that. See if the bears flush it a little bit here. I think I'll bounce. Nice flush. Nice flush. I didn't have 5 on. I had 1 on. I wanted to put 5 on. What did that give me? Like $28? No, it bounced. Oh, it gave me 16 because I was down 10. Yeah, that's why. I mean 26. No. Oh gosh, it's bearish. Wait a minute. Yeah, it was giving me 28, but it stopped me. I mean, I've seen 28. I pushed the exit. I don't care. I just didn't want to be. I didn't want to be down at $10. That's what I just had to get that off my chest. But now I'm okay. Put these 5 back on, but I'm not taking a trade. Set my parameters. I'm not taking a trade unless we create one, right? I need an area to target. There's areas like this 50% level. We probably could go there and test that again from that craziness this morning. Way down here at 0, that's 100% retracement of this move from yesterday. That's a nice target, but the question is, when will we get there, right? If we get below 50% and we start showing signs of rejection, I'm not opposed to taking that short and trying to hold it. I don't know if that'll be today or Sunday or what, so that's what I'm waiting on. If you guys wanted to know. I thought I pinned this. I definitely will, though. I am. I actually already have another YouTube channel. Sorry. It's called Integrity TV. But I haven't... Did I take it off there? I think it's still up. Integrity, INT3. Like the E, the E's is spelled, with 3's. And the Y. So there's no Y, there's no E. It's INT3 GRIT 33 TV. So Integrity TV. But I have not. Let me switch to it real quick. Why is that? Oh, I did. I put some trading videos on there. I think just to get some traction, so YouTube wouldn't be like, oh, your video. I don't know. I didn't put no videos on there. I'm waiting. Can we play a spy sometime? Because I know a lot of people don't have access to funds accounts like myself. What do you mean? Like, you want me to go to it? Like, you want me to look at it? Spy? This isn't funding either. This is an eval. I'm trying to get funded. Got 1,800 more to go. That's why I don't want to. You want me to take? I can pull up the spy if you want me to. I'm not trading right now. And I got. Yeah, I can trade the SPY on here. It's the ES, but I haven't been trading that. The ES moves at $12.50 a tick and $50 a point. So it's slower and it's more. I mean, this looks crazy, but usually it's the more well-behaved of the two, like the two sisters or the cousins, which is the NASDAQ and the SPY. But the SPY usually doesn't have all those sporadic wicks like the NASDAQ does. But it does, if you're wrong, 50 cents a point, you can make good money, but you can also lose some. Here, let's lose good money too. Here, let's see. Show you what it looks like. It's gonna be 50 to make 1,000. I don't even want to accidentally get that. But yeah, if I'm $12.50 a point. I mean $12.50 a tick. 1,000 $50 a point. I never knew that ES. Yeah, ES is the SPY. ES is the Nasdaq futures of the SPY. I mean, ES is the futures version of the SPY. What did I just say? And yeah, they're like, you know, usually what one does, the other can do. So a lot of people will watch, you know, what the here, let me pull it up for you. We'll watch what the Nasdaq is doing in the SPY, because if they're out of tandem with each other, then there's usually something going on. Like you want to be careful in the trades. Here, I'm gonna show you here in a second. See that on the left? Oh, on the left here is the MNQ or the NQ, and on the right is the SPY, the ES. And as you can see, they made basically the same moves. You know what I mean? So if you have one doing one thing and the other is doing something different, like I said, you might just want to sit that one out. A lot of times, if one will lead and the other will follow, so let's say like we're trading the ES and we're watching both, we might say, well, ES just made a new low of the day, so NASDAQ should. But sometimes NASDAQ lags and it's behind and it doesn't make a new low on the day. Like right at the same time, like you see how these are moving, both breaking these levels. But sometimes this will go and break this level, and then NASDAQ can still be sitting around at this orange line. So that's how you would use those. Sisters, they're like sisters. See, this move here is the same, but it looks smaller. But yeah. See that? That was yesterday. And these are both 3-minute charts, by the way, so. Yep. So basically what I'm saying is if we're looking at the NASDAQ, we are looking at the ES. Basically. But again, you can keep them up to make sure that they line up together. And nothing, just missing that move. That was a nice move. That was nice. Damn, I said build support below 50%. I will go short. They broke that while I was running my mouth. I didn't even realize it. That was the flush up there. Cross. Moving averages cross to let us know we're going lower. Time is 10:28. 10:28. Initial balance is almost a step. Oh my goodness. Time is 10:28 and I'm playing. I need to go work. Oh Lord. Oh dear. Well, I missed that trade, guys. It's a good trade. Looks like we may want to go target these lows, but look what's happening. We got a setup. We got something setting up, guys. We got something setting up. All right, so when this, oh wait a minute, we still got 30 minutes. Oh man, but if this candle closes heavy like this one, this big white candle we're in right now, if we close and we get a gap between the wick of this candle and the next candle, because price is always balanced, right? That's what trading is. It's like price needs to touch every point, but right here there was so much selling that price didn't come back and test these points. So if we get the next candle, NQAS, the same thing. We're looking for a bounce of support. Well, see, I'm looking to take this short actually, because support could be here too, but this level down here is more of the major support, because that's where we were before we swung high. right? Before we swung high to make this high yesterday. To make these highs, which was the high today at 23,3750. Before we were there, we were at around 19,977. And so price needs to come back and test that, right? So for me, that was my trade ideas for today because we didn't have any gaps that needed to be filled. I was saying we were either going to trade up to this extreme and take out this wick and these highs, or we were going to trade lower and retest this area. If we trade lower and retest that, we probably will break below it. Even if it breaks below it and bounces immediately, we'll probably, because it's a second retest. A lot of buyers were there before. Buyers are probably still there. But so, you know, like I said, I'm looking for, if we reject around this 50%, I'm just going to go short. I don't know if I want to, it's Friday, man. I just don't want to end the weekend bad. I don't know if I want to even take that trade. I might. If I do, I might just put on one contract. Because I just don't feel like going through it on a Friday. This is nice movement so far. But, like I was saying, this candle that's closing right now, well, that we're in, we gotta see how it closes. We still got a half hour. But if it has this empty gap, and let's say the next candle, let's say opens here at the low of that candle, or let's say we close around here, whatever, if the next candle opens and say it trades down, trades up, but comes down and creates like some kind of candle like this, or whatever the candle looks like, if this wick is here and we create this imbalance of price here, right, between this first candle and this third candle, if we have a gap where the wicks did not touch and retest price, that is a definite area to target. And so what's looking like what could potentially happen, it may not, I'm just speculating, but what could happen is if we close strong bearish, that's probably a good indication that we're going to go lower. If we do go lower and we take out this low, we're going to go lower and target this area and any buyers that were there, any liquidity that was there before, because the market facilitates trade, right? So at least that's what I was learning for it. So price could potentially come here down to the 100% mark. It could bounce, it can sell off, but if it does bounce, then the next trade idea would be to take longs to come repair that gap. And that's the trade that I put on the day before yesterday that made $1,000. It actually was $1,940, but I was down 500 already, and I only targeted 1,000 because I didn't think it was gonna do all that overnight. I thought it would at least get my 1,000. I didn't think it was gonna be like way higher. It went even higher than 19,000 during the Asia range. They pushed it up, and during the London range they pushed it all the way back up to one of those pink boxes. I don't know if you remember a couple lives ago, those pink boxes that I had up right here. Nope, that ain't it. It was, where was it? Here maybe, or here. We pushed price up into that. Matter of fact, let me go find it. It had to be this level. Nope, that was Friday. Yeah, I think it was that level though. Not the exact day, but I believe it was that level. Let's see. Yeah, it was that level, because it was this trade here. I drew the fib retracement tool from this swing high to this swing low. We opened up around here around 50%, and I took that trade overnight. I was targeting like these highs or something, but it did all of this. You can see 6 a.m. it was up here. So that's the same kind of setup I'm looking for. Again, I would have took this bounce, but they would have gotten me. They did. You know what? why don't you don't want to try prop firms? If you're losing overall on the day, you probably should try prop firms. It's going to allow you to trade more, and if you're losing, but you're not losing real money. But that lets you know that you look at this. It's not no. It's not giving me a chance to get in. It's letting you know that you're still working on something. Yeah, we're probably going for that 100%. We just got a POC right there. Support came in. Initial balance is set. So we broke initial balance low. How many contracts do I don't. Looks like we're targeting. We might go to that 100%. But if we do, like I said, yep, see, so far, if we don't come back up and repair this price within this candle, we are going to have some opportunities here. But that doesn't mean that it'll happen today, right? It could. We can go down to 100 and bounce today, but we may bounce today, reject at this level, keep on finding support. What we need to do is wait for it to get support somewhere. And that's interesting that this gap is at the 50% level. Because usually I'm like trying to get long above 50 or short below 50. That's how I used to do when I was learning how to trade Forex. I'm like, all right. May not always work, but hey, for the most part, you'll see it. You'll see price where it bounced at. I mean, look where this 50% level, that's where we built support at before going higher. We didn't get all the way to 0, so we're rejecting. We coming back down. Do we go all the way to 100? Well, we broke this level, so I think so. I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna put this trade on. Oh, I just did it again. I was about to say I don't want to risk 350. Oh my god! I keep doing this, guys. I only wanted to risk 100. I'm in it now. I just gotta move it. I keep pushing enter. I don't know why I don't ask. Definitely don't wanna. I couldn't help it. I was trying to like, okay, just wait till we get there and see. But I'm like, well, we broke this level, so let me go. But it could probably bounce. Matter of fact, yeah, I was gonna say it could probably bounce before rejecting again. 30 an hour. Wait a minute. That was great. That's the third time I did that today, y'all. But I'm up $23. Jesus. I mean, what's happening? Well, we're going. It would have been ×5 if I would have put 5 on, huh? So it looks like we're going to target these lows. I don't know if I want to get out or move my stop. I just moved my stop because this wasn't even a trade that I was supposed to get on. I kind of accidentally got in. It didn't like, just do like that. It didn't like, it didn't bounce for me or, you know, create like a pullback. I just kind of accidentally got in it. There it is. All right, that's fine. It's going to go there, but I don't know if it's going to bounce first. What's happening? Right? That was the hourly chart. That's why. This is the 3 minute right here. Oh, it's falling. This is heavy. Does it start trending to the downside? Look what it did. It made this nice little M up here. Before the moving averages cross. You see that, Court? Made a nice little M. Not equal lows. We have this weird piece, but that's what I wanted to do right there. But you see it made a nice M right at the formation of that last leg of the M. We had the moving averages cross. The 9 crossed below the 21, and then they both crossed below the 100-day moving average. It's pretty nice. This is definitely heavy short, but you want to wait for a signal if you are. Are you trading on the 1 minute chart? You get the information. Look, if you trade, listen. I think you should try prop firms. I'm not financial advice either, but I think you should try them. Apex. We're top step now. Everybody don't pay attention to the negative about either. People always got something to say, good and bad. I'm looking at the number. But I mean, unless you're paper trading, I remember the one day I think you said you bought like a $30 car, right? Not to just, but or an option. Well, like I think right now, let me see. I think right now Apex has like a 80% off. Yeah, they got 80% off right now, where the 50K, okay, they have a 50K account. They have the 50K account is $33 and some change. And for $33, since you're already, this is how I look at it. If I'm spending 33 and I'm losing over and over, 50, you're losing over and over, I might as well put that somewhere that's going to give me a better chance at learning to trade. It's not about learning money yet, because, right, until you become a better trader. But they have a 25K account, and I think this one is it's like $16 or something right now. But the profit goal is $1,500. The trailing threshold is $1,500. Now the trailing threshold does come and bite beginners in the butt, because if you have $1,500 to lose, and you take a trade and that trade gives you $200 in profit, but you close it at zero, you now still only have $1,300 to lose, even though you didn't lock in that 200. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point your account seen that $200, but you didn't take it. So for me, when I was having trouble locking in my trades and not knowing when to get out, being greedy. And so when I started trading with this company, this thing is still, oh, okay, we're just hovering around the 78. It forced me, I'm watching it over here too, it forced me to be a better trader. Like, it forced me to take my profits. And so that's when I was tired of battling Delta. So that's when I got away from that, when I heard about these companies. And I'm like, man, so you mean to tell me, since I'm learning and I'm losing money already, I can still learn on here but lose less money, but still trade in a real environment? You know what I'm saying? And so that's the 25K. I actually use that this is Apex Trader Funding. It's Apex Trader Funding. It's not an exchange. You have to have an account with an exchange, but they will tell you which exchanges that you can trade with. So the exchange I'm with is Tradeovate. Tradeovate has their own platform, but I do not use it because I learned on TradingView, and I just like it. So I do like, when I start trading full time, like when I'm not working anymore, I think I will probably split to a switch to Tradeovate. The platform, you just go to tradeovate.com. It's an actual real broker where you can actually open up a live account, deposit real money funds in there, and trade live. But they also are partner with sim programs, with prop firms. And so when the prop firm backs you, the money that they're backing you with will go to that broker, and they do however they do on the back end, and that's how that's working when you're in a live account. And but I probably will use Tradeovate, because Tradeovate has a built-in trade copier. But I won't, like right now I have 7 accounts that I need to reset, like 6 need to be reset. I'm trading 1, but I won't copy trade all. I'll probably like copy trade 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? So if I make 200 on one account, I make 600. But the other ones I'll keep, just in case there's ever a technical issue with the trade copier where something just goes wrong, because things are not perfect. You know what I mean? But this 50K is the one I'm trading right now. You can trade 10 micros. 10 minis, which is 100 micros. I'm never putting on that much size. You got to make 3,000 before losing 2,500. And so that's why and because that trailing threshold, your max loss trails you. You want to be careful, and you want to take those gains. You don't want to be playing around. You know what I'm saying? And anyways, if you're really trying to be a successful trader, even I do it sometimes, but it's bad. But sometimes not as bad. Like, it'll give me, like, what successful trader is letting a green trade turn red, or unless there was like sleep or something and weren't able to manage the trade. But what successful trader is up $200. Understanding the level of trading that they're on is up $200 and lets it go -3 or -1. You know what I'm saying? So this, to me, that helps me. But if you don't want to deal with the trailing threshold, I'll pull up Top Step. They have a Top Step account. 1 second, I'll pull it up, and they don't have a trailing threshold. But for me, that was just too much freedom. Like, because I can make 1,000 and then lose 1,000 and then make 1,000 and lose. I was doing that a lot until, like, just it wasn't 1,000, but sometimes it was. I'll be up 1,000, I'll lose 1,000. That's the daily loss limit. But now they have a Top Step X platform where you can actually set your daily loss limit, or just there is no daily loss limit. But I don't like that. I like having a daily loss limit, but so now TradingView doesn't have a daily loss limit. This is bouncing here. TradingView doesn't have a daily loss limit because it's this third-party platform, but TradeOvate does. You see what I'm saying? So even with Top Step, you can trade through TradingView. You can trade through NinjaTrader. Same with Apex. You can trade through TradeOvate, NinjaTrader, TradingView. Well, TradingView is TradeOvate is combined, so you can trade either one. Your same username and password works for both. What are the other ones? You can use Quantower, and there are a whole bunch of other ones. Like it's all on this platform, but then they have other accounts. I do have 150. The profit goal is 9,000. The trailing threshold is 5,000. I've passed that numerous of times. Actually got to pay out, but didn't take it. But so yeah, this is what I'm trading with, and so for me, I paid $33 and some change. You're welcome. I paid $33 and some change, but I have access to $2,500 to trade. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have this, if I wanted access to $2,500 to trade to lose because I'm learning, that means I have to put $2,500 into my Robinhood account, into my Webull account, and try to practice trading with real money. I was doing that at first. Not $2,500 at a time, $300, $200, $500, but I didn't know about platforms, and I didn't know about the learning curve, right? How at first it's up like same thing as the bell curve. You start to learn and everything is great, and then it starts to flatten, and then you go downhill, and that's the learning curve, and then you have to climb back up that hill as you're learning. You know what I mean? And so this was the best thing for me. They got 250s, 300s, 100K stacks. Like, there's different accounts. You can look online. People are breaking down. No time limit on how you hold trades. Some platforms are different. They may say your profit target is 3,000. The risk is 2,000, but you have to trade 5 days. You have to have a total of 5 trading days, or just different. You go to these different platforms and they'll tell you. But I like Apex because it's 1 day to pass. Even though it's 1 day to pass, and I probably could do it in 1 day. Actually, it's not a probably. I could do it in 1 day, but it depends on the market conditions. And sometimes I get a big trade, and sometimes it's a bunch of more scalps. And I haven't done it trading micros yet. I've always done it trading minis. So you put 1 or 2 minis on, and you can, if you know what you're doing, you can pass this, get $3,000 in a day, no problem. You know what I mean? But at some point you'll learn that those bad behaviors kind of trickle over into the paid account. And so that's when I started saying, okay, the markets got a little crazy this year. It's like, all right, I'm tired of doing that, and the markets are crazy. Let's pass it with minis, and then we get into the funded trade micros. It worked for a minute, but I was trading 1 micro, and so I had to up it. You need to trade like 2 to 5. You know what I mean? That's just my style, though. You find out what works for you and what doesn't. But this platform, Apex, you can trade with news. Some platforms don't want you to trade news, and you can't hold overnight though. So you can't swing trade. You can't hold a trade from today or tomorrow to tomorrow. That would be so great. NQ is kind of bouncing here, in case you were wondering, pulling up back into that 50% range. We're at above 60 to 61 fib level. But yeah, so that's that. TradeOvate compatible, TradingView compatible, browser compatible, mobile compatible. Because you actually have Just like you got the Weeble, you can access these platforms on your phone. So if you're on the go, you don't have to be on the computer. Or like TradingView and TradeOvate, which I use, but I execute on TradingView, but TradeOvate is the one that actually has the power to buy and sell, because they're the broker, but like this is the app, if you can see it. That's the TradingView app. So just in case anything happens, like if I'm in a trade, I can manage it right from this app, right on my phone. I can take a trade from here or whatever. So that is Apex. That's who I trade with. I also trade with TopStep. There, I have an account resetting with them here in a minute. They have the numbers on there. TradeOvate has their payouts as well. Where are they? This is what you can trade. They have everything on here. Anything you need. You just need to go through their account before you make any decisions. It tells you the tick size, how much the point value is. You see, remember I told you that the S&P, this is the ES, the S&P 500. It gives you the symbol, the exchanges on, the tick size, which is, a tick is 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, a whole number. And the point value is $50, which is $12.50 a tick. The Nikkei is the Japanese market, I believe. Don't quote me. I think Japanese or Asian. I think it's one of them. And then the E-mini NASDAQ. See, it tells you everything. And you can look, got the currency here. Let you know what you can trade: agriculture, energy, crude oil, natural gas, metal. Gold moves at 100 points, $100 a point, which is $10 a tick. Crazy. Or is it $10 a tick or $1 a tick? I'm not even sure, but it moves at $100. Wild. Look at the E-mini silver, $2,500 a point. That lets you know that probably doesn't move that like that, but when it does move, it moves. Yeah, you said thanks again. Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, that's where I was going to get to. With Apex, yeah, they don't have a practice account. I'm not sure if TradeOvate does, but they don't have a practice account. Yeah, so you got to pay the monthly fee to get access to trade again. But with TopStep, if you bought one of their accounts, see their accounts, this is their accounts. Theirs is a little different. Their 50K is $49 a month. Its profit target is 3,000. You can trade up to 5 minis, and the max loss limit is $2,000. So with this platform though, is if you pay that $49 and you have an account with them, you get a practice account. So even if next month you're not ready to pay $49 again because you're not ready to pass, you still can go on their I'm about to show you. You can still go on their live when the markets are open and trade the practice account. Same way you can with the TradingView. TradingView actually, I don't know if you know, but TradingView actually has a paper account. I think you know that though, right? TradingView has a paper trading account that you can practice on live as well. So you really don't have to waste any money while you're learning your strategy and learning yourself, right? Yes, they only got one account up here because I'm like, man, I'm doing too much. I had took this account to one of these practice accounts. I had took to 190,000 and from 150 to 190 in 2 months and stuff like that. It's like, oh man, it's like it helps you. It really does. 1 second, I'm trying to pull it up here. So this is the TopStep X platform, and as you can see, it says 150K. Is that a W formation? Sorry, I'm running my mouth, huh? No, I don't see no W. I don't see a W. You wouldn't know until you need at least the first Oh, maybe. Oh, you mean this? Is this a W? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Court. I thought you meant this. Oh, I'm not sure. We need this. We would need this to form first, and for it to bounce, kind of give you a double bottom. You do? You see it? Y'all see it? Look at y'all learning. You see it? It's right there, huh? Look, y'all was watching the charts. I'm running my mouth. I'm gonna keep running my mouth though, cause I want you to know. I'm gonna keep running. I'm almost done. I just want you to know this. But this right here, what I'm on, this is a practice account. So like right now, this is live markets. I'm seeing what you're seeing, and I can just put on a trade. Right? You can put on a trade, and this is what I love about their platform. You can drag down your stop loss and drag up to your take profit, so you can do it. You can do it quickly. You know what I mean? But this is a practice account. I don't have an account with them, right? I have an account, but my actual account where I practice on, like my actual account where I trade on, the combine is what it's called here. The eval is what it's called at Apex. It's not active right now. And you know what? Since I switched, because I was using Tradeovate, since I switched to I'm gonna have to ask them. But I think the account is still active, like the practice account, as long as you keep your your account open. I don't think you have to have a subscription. And I know they were actually talking about a thing too where I don't know if they did it. I haven't been listening for a while. But they were talking about for people who pay subscriptions and pay for subscriptions and didn't and don't like use it, that they would stack up, so you would basically have resets. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty dope. So it wouldn't be like you pay for a month, you pay for another month, you didn't even trade. This is like a kind of inverted head and shoulders they want to put on. See that? Send us back up to this level. But this is a 1 minute chart, so that's kind of weak. Nah. On a 2 minute, yeah. But yeah. So when you see this, when you see me trade on this kind of platform, this is this is Top Step X with Top Step. And close that position, let it hit the target. It'll be like order filled. I hit my target. Look how close that is. Look at that. Just go through it. But see, I'm practicing. You know what I mean? Like, you can practice. Yeah.
Order filled.
Order filled. I'm gonna start when I put up, I don't know, I want to take this account too. I want to see if I can get it to like 350. But anyway, so that's the Top Step platform. And what I will do is I will message them and I'll let you know. Cause I see your comment, what you said, Court. Head and shoulders is still hard for me to spot. Yeah, you know what? Are you looking for? But as I was saying real quick, I will ask them so that I can give you the correct information as far as if you'll have that practice account, even like if you say, hey, because you can cancel the subscription anytime you want. For all these platforms, there is no contract, you're not locked in. You can pay for the account today and blow the subscription, blow the account and be like, I don't want to trade with you guys anymore, and cancel the subscription, or I don't want this account, cancel it. But as long as you keep your little profile open, you know, you can always go back, sign back in, and get an account anytime you want. But you don't have to pay the monthly fee. It's not, you don't, like, you know what I mean? You're not locked in like that. So, but the Head and Shoulders, are you looking for like perfect Head and Shoulders, or because sometimes they do form perfectly, but for the it's 10:59. I'm still sitting here. For the most part, what you want is just the basic price action. You want the basic price action, right? You might see it and be like, it's not a head and shoulder. That's sloppy. That don't look like one. But if you look at the price action, look at this low we have. We have a lower low, and we have a low that's higher than this. Low is low and equal to, sometimes it's equal to or lower than, or equal to or higher than this first shoulder, that first low. So it's a shoulder, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be perfect. That's probably where you struggle at. And then this will validate it. Once this, sometimes you can build out a little support here. It might even pull back. It might go. Sometimes 1 or 2 candles and then it goes. But again, so this is a 2-minute chart, and it's like, where could it go? Where, well, it could go probably here, which is around VWAP. But they don't always play out, but when they do, like, we'll see if this one does. But, you know, it's like, that's all you need is the peaks. When you draw, if you have the tool, I don't know if you have the tool on Weeble or what you use. Well, you can draw it like that, and then you can see it better. See? The tool fits it, so technically that's a head and shoulders. I mean, you can make the tool, like, you can draw it, but, you know what I mean? You can't just put a head and shoulder here and be like, oh, it's a head and shoulder. But look at it. This is what I drew. Now look at the tool off of the price. Now you see the tool, that's an inverted head and shoulders. So inverted head and shoulder is bullish. And we're on a 2-minute, so I probably won't go that high again. Good, but we should come test this level. Here. We had all those sellers at. Again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Using TradingView. Oh yeah, so TradingView, go to the left on head and shoulders is what it says. Oh no, that's because I used it. It says patterns. If you go to the left, your left toolbar there. Bullish, get in. I know, that's what I'm thinking. I ain't gonna lie, that's what I'm thinking. But you go ahead and start, and if you start, you know, you got your menu up here. I actually did a video on how to use TradingView. If you want to check that out on my channel. I need to watch it and see if I forgot anything, actually. But I think I went through what tools I use and how to get them up here, to start them and everything. This is definitely bullish. I'm taking it. Oh, my stomach. I'm a little hungry. Just, I don't know why. I just wanted to see if it's going to work. Whatever, it's Friday. You won't lose too bad, huh? Now, if it come, let me see, maybe my stop is my stop. If it comes to the shoulder, we got some rejection there. The sellers might say, nah, this ain't no head and inverted head and shoulders this way. Better go on somewhere with that. Oh, look at this nice tail we got on this one. Oh, no, that's a 15-minute. Look at this 15-minute. Was that a 30-minute? What time is that? Oh, yeah, look at that. That's buyers. You see that? You see that tail? And then we got that small inverted head and shoulders on a 1-minute. We should get up there on a 2-minute. We should get up there to that line. Now that I'm looking at that. We should get up here. I was just going 5 here. Oh, no, it's Friday. Stop going against the grain. My stomach is saying, eat a banana, eat a banana. Ooh. All right, we're in the money so far. I would have been up $100 right now if I had on 5, but I got on 1. Up $20. 22. I'm joking about getting in, but tight stop. I'm joking about getting in, but I wasn't. That was a Head and Shoulders. While I'm sitting up there showing you, I'm like, wait a minute, why am I? And then we got that big tail on the 1 hourly. I mean, on the half hour. On a half hour, the 1 hour is looking a little bit. On a half hour, I just don't want to reject before we get there. What am I? 61. I'll trail it tightly. Just cause it's Friday. Oh, wait. Y'all, wait a minute. Oh, see, we could be going to repair price. Okay, so, ooh, they pushed that hourly candle up, didn't they? Damn, look at that hourly candle. We could be going to repair price. We got this gap, remember? Put a line there. Got that gappy gap. I mean, this. What are they doing? Are we gonna get way up there? So on the hourly, this half hour candle look real like it's gonna go higher. It look like take me higher. That's what it looks like. It looks like take me way up here. Then we got a gap here. Moving averages, I don't like that. How spaced they are when price curled up. Push them up, stop up a little bit. Unless they cross, unless they come to cross, like somewhere here. But sometimes back testing and just going back, reading, studying the charts, and sometimes seeing it live. When the moving averages try to curl up like that and price rises, but this is different though. But sometimes when the candle gaps up through the moving averages like that, and it looks like they're gonna cross, sometimes they kind of do this thing where they almost cross, and then they'll do this, maybe go sideways or maybe come back down for a bearish continuation. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I've noticed that. And what I've also noticed is that the move is more powerful and more trustable for me when it happens like this. You see how as the moving averages cross, that candle was coming through? That, to me, that is like more powerful than when it just gaps like that. But this gap can still send us here. It can send us to VWAP. It can send us to 100-day moving average. But as far as like getting one of those big moves, like 200-point moves, or like, something like a big move like this, cross right there before it or during. But look at this was news driven though. See, it's all different type of scenarios. See how it crossed there, but the candles like found support above it as it crossed. There's just so many different scenarios. This is definitely bullish though. It's a little different. That's the thing, right? You can't just tell you one way how to look at it, because there are a bunch of different ways. But see that we're rejecting. Let me at least lock in 40 of them. At least lock in 40. I think that should give me 40. Did that give me 40? I don't know. Up $72 on the day. It's Friday. I'm not trying to do too much. But 72 times 5, we could have had 350 on that. Or no, I was already up 20. Was I already up $20? Something like that. 20 something dollars. So maybe it gave us like 40. So we could have been up $200. Could have got $200 trading 5 contracts, but it's Friday again. I'm not even interested. He says you were right on the money. I wasn't right on the money. That inverted Head and Shoulders was right on the money. As I was telling you, and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of doing this. How many times have I been on live and I'm like, oh, price will do this and I might do that, and then I'm like, damn, I missed my entry. Yeah, I need to loosen up. Remember, I told you it doesn't always work, but look how it fit. You know what I mean? I used to have trouble finding them too, but I had to learn that it was not about, right? It was not about, let's look it up. It was not about seeing a perfect, it wasn't about seeing a perfect pattern. SMA or MACD crossing and following 1, 5, and 15 and up to see if anything is going against the trend in the time frame. You said MACD. You got the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 up. Look at that. Look where it went, y'all. You see that? My line might be a little crooked, but you see that? Almost went to almost that line, basically. So it came like to this wick here, the bottom of this wick right here. Look at this. The bottom of this candle right here. That's where we came to and rejected off of. Here. You see that? So I was slightly off. I took the body of this next candle. But you see that? Look how we reject. Look. Look. Now what did I say? What did I say now? What did I say? Y'all, what did I say? I'm not always right, but sometimes. But I told y'all. I said when these candles cross above like this. That doesn't mean it can't bounce back up and go higher, but when these candles cross above and before the moving averages is crossed, remember I said usually they'll almost cross or they'll do something like this. It wasn't like that because I didn't have them. I said they'll usually cross or they'll do something like this, something like that. Cross back down and continue bearish. Now these did cross. Here's a cross right here, but I'm telling you, it, like I said, it could still go higher, but that to me was an indication that okay, if this little head and shoulder does play out, we're probably going to go to this level. Makes sense. Probably going to reject from there, and if we do, we might go lower. I don't know where we'll go. I don't know if we'll go lower or higher, but remember my earlier trade idea was to find rejection around the 50% and take it down to the 100%. I'm not going to take the trade, but I'm interested to know if we play that out today. Here we are at the 50%. We pushed above it. We rejected below VWAP. Right after that head and shoulders sent us up to test this level here. Looking like a good short. The moving averages, they crossed, but they curled right back down, as you can see. Now the 9 EMA is on the top of the 21. Which is bearish. When the smaller is above the larger, no. When the smaller is below the larger, it's bearish. When the larger is that right? When the larger is above the smaller, it's bullish. No. Rewind. When the smaller EMA, so the blue one is above the 21, that's big. That's bullish. And when the blue one, the smaller one, is below the 21, that's bullish. Man, I still to this day, it's just, you know what? Hey, if the blue is on top, that's bullish. If the blue is on bottom, that's bearish. Simple as that can get. Yeah, basically saying you can use multiple indicators or market structures to trade and trend lines too. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And that's why trading is so hard, because at first you may think, oh, trend lines are not working, I gotta find another strategy. And then you think, okay, this strategy is working, right? Highs and lows of a 30-minute candle. And then that stops working and you're like, well, you know, it's these 30-minute candles are smaller, it's ranging. And so you're like, oh, I gotta try to find a scalp, or I gotta try to do this. You keep changing your strategy, not understanding that different strategies go with different market conditions until you've traded so long to where you're like, oh, I've seen this before, so I know. You know what I'm saying? Like the couple weeks ago when we had some good movement, and I'm like, oh, this should be good. But right after that, we started to get those crazy end of April, beginning of May time markets where we just chop around a little bit in the morning, and then we get the move in the afternoon. You'll see, if you stick around, you'll see we get to a point where the moves are happening in the mornings, and then the afternoons mellow out. And the hard thing is recognizing that. You gotta at least go through a week of recognizing, and you're like, okay, moves are happening in the morning. Like right now, I'm ending my streams down most of the time, sometimes, but I end the day up sometimes because the moves are happening in the afternoon. But the markets will rotate and then the moves will start happening in the morning. You'll see sometimes when the moves happen over lunch or overnight. Yeah, it's just different. Different market structures. But yeah, that's what I did yesterday. Remember right here. I don't know if you were here this morning, but I mean, I seen the moving averages cross, but I was strictly thinking about price action and how we made this big move to the upside. Excuse me, how we had a rising wedge here, which is bearish, right? It sent us a little lower. I'll get back to the charts in a second. It sent us lower here, and then they kind of traded us in another channel. And being that I can see like this is kind of bearish. You can tell they want to go lower, right? It looks like they wanted to go lower, but for whatever reason they were holding price right here. Sorry, I just drew all these lines with the straight white line. You can see how many times price hit that. I was like, oh yeah, they're trying to keep it elevated. And I think until like the last 30 minutes or so, like how they usually do sometimes after a big move like that, they don't want to just flush it. And I don't know if it's so a lot of people don't get paid or not like that, but you know, like just when they create the opportunity, it's time driven. It's time driven. The markets are as well, engineered, right? But anyways, it traded in the channel, it broke, put us back in the channel, and I was like, oh yeah, this time when it breaks, look, it broke, it was around 330, right? When we start turning around, it was around flattening out. When we start tapering over, it was around 322 to 330, and then we broke at 334 to that 334 candle. But when we, like this is trend lines, you know what I'm saying? This is like not necessarily, it is trend lines. This is but it's a channel. We had slope and support and slope and resistance. Slope and support here and slope and resistance, and we broke it. And they were trying to keep us here, and then like the larger picture is this big area of supposed buyers, but they're not sending the price higher. I'm like, oh yeah. Not only that, it's always multiple time frame analysis, right? Not only that, when you jump down to this 1 hour chart, we had that big gap between the let me take some of this stuff out of the chart, maybe you can see it better. We had this huge gap between the low wick of this green candle that the mouse is on and between the high of the wick of this red candle. So this wick to this wick had this big empty pocket area that was open for business. So I knew we were going to go repair that, whether it was yesterday or overnight. I didn't care. I was going to be in for it. And we're still going higher. I'll show you in a second. And it ended up happening yesterday. And so I put on 5 contracts, 10 contracts, minis, micros, and then it bounced. We were on a 2-minute chart. We got this small bounce here. This small bounce right here at 22.25. And once we start to continue lower, I put on another 5 and another 5, and I got out right at the bottom of this candle. As soon as this candle started to bounce, I got out and ended up the day up $1,100. But again, the moves happened after stream. Like I end the stream at 10:30, which I'm late in it today. I have to get off here soon, but I end the streams, and when I end the streams, if you're still watching the markets, you notice that the move is happening then. Okay, so we're around that 50% move, 50% level of what? Of this. Why is my chart doing that? Just kind of staying there. We already repaired price, but it's just interesting. I'm actually about to move this swing high, but from this swing low down here, this low to this high, we came back, we repaired that gap, Support at the 61.8. We tried to take it up. We couldn't get back to 0. Tried it again. Rejected. We went back down to 78.6. So we're kind of still in the middle of that range. From the previous swing high, swing low, we have not yet retested either of these extremes, this high or this low. So to me, we're just, even though there's moves and it doesn't look like it, we're just kind of ping-ponging in between, in the middle. I don't know, it's weird in here. But we're at that 50% level. And we actually, it's a smaller gap here, but we do have a gap between these candles. The candles is always like, the gap will happen between 3 candles where you have a gap. If it's bearish, you'll have a gap between the low wick of the first candle and the high wick of the third candle. And if it's bullish, you'll have a gap between the high wick of the first candle and the low wick of the third candle. That might sound crazy. Just go back, rewind it, and then write that little piece down. It'll be all right. Yeah, so a lot of people don't get paid. It's correct. And don't forget about that neutral line or 50-point middle below is bearish, above is bullish. Yeah, exactly. That's like, you can look for trade ideas from there, right? Hey, if we below 50%, let's go short back down to 100. If we're above it, let's look for long. If we find support, we're going back up to this 0 where, you know, either where it started or where it ended, basically. It actually started here, so I should have just had 0 here, but it doesn't make sense. It's still 50% is 50%. But I remember learning this in Forex, and then like yesterday was a perfect example. When it finds support at or above the 50%, it goes, then you take profit around here, around like the 27, the negative 27 level, or you can have those levels here. You can actually go to settings and change it, but it did just that yesterday. From this swing high to this swing low, and then I think I did this. Let me see. I did this swing low to this swing high, and I know it's messy. Here, let me open up another chart. Relax, right? Let me see. I just want y'all to see how sometimes it works out perfectly. From 0 to 100 real quick. And then look what it did. This is on the hourly chart. So we created this low. I actually took this trade. We created this low. We had a swing high here. We swung from high to low here. And I was able to take that trade. And once we completed that and took out this initial high level where before we swung low. Once we took that out, I drew a new level from the new swing low to the new swing high, which is up here. And as you can see, price bounced almost exactly at that 50% level. Almost at that 50% level, price bounced. This is the hourly again. It bounced, took us higher than that previous swing low. It'd be somewhere in between negative 27 and the 0. That's the take profit area. Then it came back down 23.6, and here we are sitting today. But yeah, so that's the type of trades we're gonna be taking from now on. Solid trades. Besides some scalps, I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna scalp sometimes. Obviously, I'm gonna scalp sometimes, right? But yeah, multiple time frame analysis is extremely important. Confluences, right? So like, I'm looking at the 3-minute here. I got off of that 1-minute chart. That 1 minute, here's the 3-minute. That 1-minute chart just destroys me all the time. I don't even want to. As a matter of fact, I'm finna unstar it because I don't even want to see it. Sometimes I look at it if I don't want to see it. I might even take the 2-minute off. Whoop, we rejected off of that 50%, somewhere around there. I'm still not convinced. It's Friday. But yep, I got the 3-hour here that you guys can see. The one you guys can't see is the hour on the left side of that, where I got my Lioness at. I gotta have her up there. And then I have another screen where I have you guys up on one side, and the other side I have, we're bearish on the day. I have the daily up. Yep, and we're down negative 0.07 fluctuating percent. We were up when we opened, remember? But I have the daily on the left and the 30-minute on the right. So I have a daily, a 30-minute, and 1 hour. 3-minute and a 1 hour is like giving me my bias, right? What are we doing on the higher time frame? And then when those gaps form on a 1 hour, because that's what they do, right? Yeah, that was a rejection. That was a short, guys. I missed it. Oh, my stomach is around. I missed it. All right. I don't want to chase. Anyways, we created a gap, but these gaps are great, right? We want them to create a gap. When the market starts to move, because it will move, right? They go sideways, up and down, right? Now look at this. We went sideways. Why are you doing that? We went sideways a little bit, trying to accumulate buyers and sellers. We sold off. We bounce. We go down. At some point, we will accumulate buyers and sellers again. But what I'm finding is I'm loving these accumulations. Last week I had a great trade where I was able to recognize it, and that accumulation I was able to build my position up, and that's what made me even think like, you know what, I'm going to start trading more contracts. But I didn't say I was going to put 5 on, off the rip, but I just kind of did some math and things. Actually, Ms. Dawn Jackson, I'm now risking 350. I'm willing to go up to 500, but I'm trying to keep it as low as possible just to see, how the market respects it. It could be 275, it could be 325, 350. I went from 2 or 250 to 350 because doing some back testing, I realized that a lot of my ideas that I was having and the way I was seeing the market, I wouldn't have been stopped out at 350 had I answered them correctly. So just working on some things. But when the market moves, it'll leave behind these gaps. Right? And so if the market moves and leaves behind these gaps, what does that mean for us? That means those are trade opportunities because we got to come back and repair that. Right? Think about it like I was one of them kids sometimes when I was bored. You know how you just try to step in every single square, like you try to jump in every square 1 foot after another to see if you can land directly in the middle of the square on the sidewalk or directly on the end, or if you can run through it and try to hit every spot, and over time eventually you'll realize that you're not ending up in the middle of the square or whatever. That's probably physics and a lot of other stuff, like when it comes to measurements and where you start. But or one of those kids, or you see them in the grocery store or something, you try to hit every square, every tile, right? But every once in a while, you'll try to skip the concrete, right? You'll see if you can skip 1 or skip 2 or the tiles, and you'll see how many you can jump over. Well, the markets is kind of the same, right? The markets, if you look at these markets, the candles and the wicks, they always touch each other. Like, this might be a higher low. This might be a higher low here. But they always touch each other. Watching that to see if we bounce. They always touch each other, and like price is always repairing itself. Like even in the smaller time frames, if you go look, if there's any gaps created at some point in time in the future, price will repair that. And so, hey, when they create themselves, why not try to take advantage of that? But like I was saying, those lines in the sidewalk is how I look at the market. I noticed that when just little nuances when trading before I understood that there's other concepts, or before I even understood it was like an imbalance in trade or whatever. Like before I start listening to people, I could just realize like, man, because I would be like, why, when you look back, like why this price is everywhere? It's like, and then it'll come back and do this and come back and do that and come back and test these areas. And so I just had to understand how to get the bigger picture of it. Like, what are we doing? When is price moving? You know, and so I think I'm getting a little better at that. But again, price will do that. Like, sometimes it will just do like this. It's ranging and it's everywhere. It's giving people opportunities to buy everywhere. And then you'll have these other times, right? Even on the hourly, look at this. These wicks are overlapping and everything. But then other times, you'll have so many buyers or sellers come in that you create these gaps. And those gaps to me are like remembering how, or understanding how kids like to step on the sidewalk or whatever, like every line, you know, they want to hit every line, but eventually they skip some lines. Well, the market is like that. It wants to hit every line. It wants to hit every price point. And sometimes it skips some price points on the way down, like just flushes immediately through them because there was, you know, such a large amount of business that needed to be handled, contracts or shares or whatever that needed to be bought or sold at that level. And so when they skip it, at some point in the future, they have to come back. It's like you got to come back and touch those lines. That's what the markets do. And my little weird mind remembers stuff like that. But yes, like you want to try to find those areas, and the higher the time frame, the better. Even though they do repair themselves on each time frame, but if you want to try to hold the trade longer, use the higher time frames. And that's what I kind of forgot about that. I kept saying I want to get back to holding my trades. And then eventually that came back and I was like, oh my God, why haven't I been doing this? I forgot about this. I think it had to marinate though before I really understood it more. Because I don't think I was patient enough to wait for it, or, you know, to even have the 1 hour up. I wasn't, honestly. That's what drove me to the 1 minute in the beginning in the first place. Because I was like, I don't want to sit here and wait for this 5 minute candle to form. Well, that's a indication that one of my flaws was being impatient. I'm still working on it, but I'm better than I was. Every time this beat come on, it make me do my shoulders like this. Don't judge me. Could NASDAQ be putting in one of those weird W's it does? I don't know, but I'm not trading it. I enjoyed y'all today though. I really did. I was a lot talkative today. I hope you guys don't mind. But we are going to go ahead and end the stream because I'm going to make me a BLT and then I got to go work. We're ending the day up $72. I probably won't take another trade. It's Friday. I don't want to go through it. I'm looking forward to next week though, since we implemented this strategy back into trading. And hopefully it does whoever's watching some justice as well. And we can really exercise some patience and discipline with this strategy. So I'm excited. I'm also excited because I got my first 100 subscribers. I'm gonna put this on my calendar. I'm not gonna forget it. It's exciting. I went from 0 to 100. But thank you guys. If you're gonna trade well, be patient, be smart. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Keep God first always. When you wake up tomorrow, the first thing you do is you give thanks. Before you pick up your phone, before you take a drink of water, just give thanks. Do it every day. All right. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy trading. Trade well. And I will see you guys Monday at 8. All right, loves.